We are here in Israel, a nation at war after that brutal surprise attack by Hamas. The worst attack on Israel in 50 years. Hamas militants coming in by land, sea, and air, targeting civilians. Horrific acts of brutality just now coming to light. Tonight, Israel vowing vengeance, calling up 300,000 military reserves, already hammering Hamas targets in Gaza, ordering a total siege of Gaza. But with this retaliation comes the new threat from Hamas tonight, that they will kill the 100 hostages in Gaza one by one on video before the world if the attacks continue. The death toll mounting on both sides tonight, at least 900 dead here in Israel, 11 Americans among them, and nearly 700 now dead in Gaza. Tonight, Israel waging a fierce bombardment of Gaza, cutting off power, water, electricity. Hundreds of apartments and homes destroyed, including at least 3 mosques. Israeli military vehicles now moving into position along the border with Gaza. And all day today, we witnessed Hamas still firing missiles into Israel. We heard the rockets here in Tel Aviv and the air raid sirens, our teams forced to shelter for a time as they report from communities along the border with Gaza. Tonight, we also learned 100 bodies were found just today in a small farming town. Images circulating online showing Hamas militants arriving on motorbikes and dragging hostages through the streets there. More than 260 people were killed at a music festival, thousands of young people running from the gunmen. And the haunting images of the hostages being taken by Hamas. And tonight, the real fear: how does Israel retaliate without risking the lives of those hostages? Among them, a wife and her 2 young daughters. They were visiting their grandmother, that wife calling her husband right there as the militants moved in. The call then dropped out. That husband then recognizing his wife in video, being taken hostage by the militants. What he told me about that phone call right here tonight. We've heard it on the streets here as well, and I heard it on the flight from the U.S. to Israel. People coming up to me saying, this is our 9/11, this devastating and lethal surprise attack. Tonight, Israel now responding with the death toll here and in Gaza only growing. Tonight, Israel at war. Hundreds of Israeli rockets pounding Gaza for hours. Retaliation for the brutal Hamas attack on Israel. Thick black plumes of smoke billowing into the sky. These men capturing the destruction unfold from inside a neighboring building. As the sun sets, explosions lighting up the night sky. 130 targets in just 3 hours. Dozens of Israeli fighter jets. Tonight, the Israeli Defense Ministry declaring a total siege of the Gaza Strip. No power, no water, no electricity. They say they are dealing with, quote, barbaric terrorists, and that, quote, we will act accordingly. On the ground in Hamas-controlled Gaza, ambulances rushing to the scene tonight. Israel's retaliatory strikes leaving more than 600 dead. Cries for help as buildings burn. Children carried to safety. This man weeping, his head in his hands as he sits on a pile of rubble. A home hit by an Israeli airstrike. 4 of the 7 family members who lived there presumed dead. Hamas releasing this drone footage. They say an Israeli tank in the crosshairs. Then the strike and explosion. Tonight, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu comparing Hamas to ISIS, saying the enemy are animals, executing children and parents in front of families. The retaliation comes 48 hours after a sweeping, coordinated, and brutal assault that left much of Israel under attack. The worst attack on Israel in 50 years. More than 900 dead here in Israel, at least 11 Americans among them. Some of the first missiles seen just after 6 a.m. in the sky above a music festival near the Gaza border. Young people could be seen running for their lives. This haunting drone video posted online showing the aftermath. The cars abandoned, lining the road. A staggering 260 people were killed here. We learn of a young man at that festival who raced into a shelter, only to witness many of his own friends shot and killed right in front of him. 30-year-old Saho Ben Salon.
Glad you're okay.
Thank you very much.
Shot in the arm and the leg, telling us he ran for his life and hid in that shelter with 30 others. He estimates 20 of them did not get out alive.
One of my friend, she got choked by the smoke. She tried to run away, and she got tackled with the terrorists who tried to get inside to shoot at us, and he dropped her on the floor and started to killed her, shoot her to death, shot her. Shoot her dead.
The horror unleashed on that festival was just the beginning. Hamas militants going door to door in small towns and villages. Witnesses say they were killing indiscriminately, leaving bodies in the street, some shot in their cars. And witnesses say in homes where they didn't kill, they took hostages, mothers and children, seniors, dragged away, taken back to Gaza. Yoni, I'm David. Thank you for having us. I'm sorry you're still waiting.
Thank you for coming.
This young father, Yoni Asher, was on the phone with his wife. She had brought their 2 young daughters, 2 and 4, to see their grandmother. She called her husband after they rushed into a safe room in the house. They knew the militants were outside.
She was whispering. I didn't hear background. Didn't hear the girls. She was frightening. And when the call disconnected, I just couldn't do anything. I just went down on the floor like this on my knees, couldn't feel my legs, and tried to hope for the best.
The call drops. He had no idea what happened to his wife and children until this video. Yoni says this is his wife, Duran. He watches as militants start to cover his wife's head. He sees a flash of one of his daughters.
I recognized them immediately, and I saw the video twice. In the second time, I couldn't watch anymore because I melted down. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe this is happening to me. It was a nightmare. It was the worst possible scenario.
He has not heard from his wife since. Her cell phone now pings from Gaza. He is terrified for her and for his daughters.
The phone is in Khan Yunis, which is inside Gaza. And at that point, I really feared that
she'd been taken too.
She'd been taken, yeah.
This is your firstborn?
This is my...
He shows me the photos of his family, the smiles, the girls in their dresses, a father proud to hold his daughter. These are their drawings, their little play kitchen, and their shoes right where they left them. Tonight, Israel says there are at least 100 hostages being held in Gaza. And Hamas is now warning tonight that they will start executing Israeli hostages if the bombing continues without warning. They say some of the hostages are already dead.
What's your message to those who took your wife and daughters?
My message to them is don't hurt my wife. Don't hurt my little girls. Show some decency. Show some respect.
And tonight, as Israeli soldiers now amass at the border with Gaza, a young Israeli commander will not be there. He was one of the first to respond when the Hamas attacks began. 20-year-old military commander Yuval Patiev.
Hi, I'm David. Good to meet you.
He watched as the militants charged toward him. He says they put a bomb under the tank.
One terrorist climbed under the tank. He put an explosive bomb right under my seat. So when he blew it, I flew like in the air. At the moment, I knew that I broke my leg. So I told my commander that he should take my tourniquet and should put it on the...
You asked them to put your tourniquet on you?
Yeah, I just opened the gate and told him to put it right here. And
did you think you could lose your leg?
Yeah, I did, but I just did what they trained us.
His leg shattered and bleeding. Yuval says they were under attack, trapped in that tank for hours. He can still see their faces.
You look at them and how could you do this to someone? Like, all they saw was hate and trying to murder you. So we just fought for our lives. Everybody got together, hold everything close, trying to pray that they won't get to open the tank, won't explode it, and God was with us. That's all I can say.
glad you're okay, that you survived.
Yeah.
And you have your leg.
Yeah.
They say it's going to be okay?
Yeah, everything will be okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A young soldier who thought he would die in that tank.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.